Pandemoni Toys has brought back that feeling you had as a kid when you saw that new toy line on the shelf. Alternation action figures, original heroes for a new generation. Ultra Maximus viewers get 10% off with code ULTRAMAX. Shop now at Pandemoni Toys. Link in the description below.
Oh no, Misa in trouble, betcha.
Dude, they're all still in their boxes. You'll be fine.
Hooray!
The forge to bridge. I've got a problem down here. Fire!
Fire all phasers.
What do you think's making all that noise? Perhaps I was wrong.
You suck.
Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another retro review, and today we're going to rewind it all the way back to 1994 with a couple Playmates figures from Star Trek Generations. Now, this was the first feature film for the Next Generation cast, and it was kind of a pass the baton film from the original crew with Captain Kirk and the Next Generation crew. And this came out the year I graduated from high school. It came out the year that Star Trek The Next Generation ended its run on TV. This was a big year for Star Trek for me. I was super excited when the film came out. I worked at a movie department as a kid when this movie had come out later that year in the spring, I guess, or in the fall, winter. We used to rent the crap out of it. And it was an okay film. It's an interesting film. If you've never seen it, go watch it. Basically, Kirk and Picard have to save the galaxy from a rogue El-Orion played by Malcolm McDowell. And I guess it wasn't really the galaxy, it was a planet, but whatever. Yeah, so I found these figures at my local flea market, the Emporium 31 on the south side of Indianapolis here in Greenwood, and I was really excited about these. I've already reviewed Lursa and Bator out of this line. If you haven't seen that video, I'll add a link to it. Those are pretty cool figures, but I really wanted these, and I wanted them on the card. I paid $2 a piece for them, which was nice, because these are the canceled uniforms that were supposed to be in the film. So if you go back and watch the movie, they start out with the standard Next Generation uniforms, and they kind of transition into the Deep Space Nine uniforms. Well, they actually had designed new costumes for the crew, but for whatever reason, the costumes didn't work out right. And they ended up going and borrowing all the costumes from DS9 and using those instead. And to my knowledge, there's only one scene that we actually see anybody in that uniform, and it's LeVar Burton as Geordi when I want to say he's being interrogated or he's on the station or something. I'll actually add a link to that video in this video so you can actually check out that footage. But what was interesting about these uniforms, it was like a cross between their dress uniforms and the standard uniform. They put color around their collars, the gold for these guys, red and blue for the others, and then around their cuffs they got bands very similar to the old school classic Star Trek, which I really did like. I mean, I kind of like these uniforms. It's a shame they didn't go with them. They put the pips on the collar piece, and you kind of see a little bit of this in the Picard series that was out not too long ago. But these toys were made obviously well before the film was put out, and they were doing it off of pre-artwork, and well, yeah, the whole cast got the uniforms in plastic form, but we didn't get it up on the screen. So this is the only way you can get these uniforms, basically. And I really want to flesh out the rest of the characters in the new uniforms, or the canceled uniforms, and hang them up on the wall. I think that'd be cool. So like I said, I'm not actually going to take these figures out. I'm going to leave them in the package. The package themselves, just kind of look at the packaging. It's the Generations artwork, which is very cool. It's got their logo, Kirk, Picard, the energy ribbon up there. It's got the Generations logo, which is very, very cool. Then you get your figure in there. Very standard for the Playmates Star Trek figures of the day. Back of the package also has all the characters that were available in the line. It's got a little write-up of the film. It's got a little movie poster. And then it's got a write-up of the character, little bio, all that kind of good stuff. So there are all the figures that you can collect. If you want to pause and read that, you are more than welcome to. And then here's this. If you want to pause and read that, you're more than welcome to. And then, of course, right there. If you want to pause and read that, you are more than welcome to. And that's it for the packaging. The only difference in the packaging is really Worf. He's got the Create an Alien Contest sticker on his box, where the other two do not. But yeah, they're definitely very cool. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at each figure. So here we have a closer look at Geordi. Again, it's a pretty standard Playmates Geordi La Forge action figure. Definitely very cool looking. He's got, looks like he's got a bunch of purple accessories, some tricorders, maybe some engineering gear. He's got a little stand that says La Forge. So looking at his uniform, again, slightly different from the Next Generation in the fact that we've got some gold bars up on his collar. His pips are over on his right side chest there. And then he's got the marking bands on the uniform itself. And it doesn't have that kind of up swoosh on the side. It's more like a shirt type of look. I guess kind of mirror matching what it looked like on the old Star Trek films. So just kind of get a closer look, I guess, so we can see it a little bit better. So yeah, definitely cool. But yeah, see how it doesn't have the little up swoosh. It's just straight flat across the waist, and then he's got the bands around there, and of course the gold collar. Again, this is the only person that we saw LeVar Burton in the film, in the deleted scene. In fact, I want to say that Jonathan Frakes was asked about the uniforms and switching to the DS9 uniforms, and he didn't remember that. Of course, that was, what, 26 years ago now? And I want to say he had to wear Avery Brooks' uniform because of his height, I think. But yeah, definitely cool. And, you know, it's a shame we didn't get to see these actually appear on the screen. So next up, we've got Data, and looks like he comes with a phaser that's firing. He's got a bunch of light purple gear, looks like tricorders and things. He's got his little base that says Data. And it's not a very good sculpt. I think Geordi, of the three, I think Geordi's the best sculpted. But I guess he's not too terribly bad. So again, he's got the same uniform style as Geordi. He's got the gold collar, the pips are over here. Again, it's kind of like a shirt down at the belt. It just goes straight. We don't have that kind of uprise on the side of the uniform. And then he's got the bands, very similar to the classic Kirk-looking characters from the classic films. So yeah, definitely very cool, very interesting for sure. Again, this is the only time that we see Data in this uniform. And finally, we have Worf in his uniform. We got a couple different Worf characters in this line. We got this Worf, and then we had the one where he's in the old school naval uniform. I think they all had that in this line, to be honest. But I have never seen this Worf on card. I've only seen the one where he was in the naval outfit. He's got a phaser. He also has a phaser rifle, which is cool. He comes with a black tricorder and a hammer. I wish he would have come with a batleth instead. I think that would have been cooler. And of course, he's got his little base with the new logo, but the new communicator, by the way. I didn't mention that. This communicator debuted in this film, so that's pretty cool. The other thing I really didn't mention on the other ones, the shirt itself, the uniform, has the kind of patch that goes over that you could pull open. Very similar to what they had on the original cast uniforms from the classic films, those red uniforms. We see like Bones and Kirk pop those open all the time. Again, I like that, a nice little callback. So just a closer look here of Worf. Again, sculpt's not all that great. He is a little different in the fact that he does not have a gold band around his collar. I thought that was an error, but looking at other figures online, that's just the way this uniform is for him. Maybe it's a security thing. He looks really weird without a sash, I gotta say that. But yeah, if you notice, there's a seam that goes up to the shirt that's very similar to the classic cast uniforms, and then you got these little bands. So yeah, definitely very cool. Definitely digging that for sure. The other thing I didn't mention here when I pull it close, it's the Create an Alien contest where you could enter to create an alien to appear on Deep Space Nine, and I have no idea what alien that was. If you know, leave a comment down below. That, of course, was a very popular contest back in the day. You create an alien, create a character. Masters of the Universe did that, where you could create a Masters of the Universe figure. I think there was a Transformers one back in the day. I remember Masters of the Universe had a contest where you could play a monster or creature in the Masters of the Universe movie, which is Pig Boy at the end of the film. I know that. So yeah, definitely some great classic 90s fun. So are the Star Trek Generations canceled uniform figures something that you want in your Star Trek collection? I'm going to say yes. If you are a fan, especially of Star Trek The Next Generation, if you're a Star Trek fan, these are pretty cool because they're kind of a snapshot in history of what could have been and didn't happen. I just think it's very interesting that we got a whole line of figures with uniforms that were supposed to make their debut in the movie and then got scrapped last minute. And just for that alone, I think that they're worth picking up. If you just like the old 90s Star Trek figures, I think these are pretty cool. They're pretty cheap. You can find them anywhere from $2 like I paid here to the most for these things. I see them go for $15, $20 maybe. I wouldn't spend any more for that at all. I would say $5 to $10 is the max range I would pay for these figures. Yeah, they're definitely still fun. They're definitely still cool. So there they are, the Star Trek Generations canceled uniform action figures of Worf, Geordi, and Data by Playmates.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.